Hi, my name is Benjamin Schaefer. In this video, I'm going to answer the question, what is a Mormon fundamentalist? What is Mormon fundamentalism? Well, within Mormonism, as with almost any other religious group, there are subsets, or different areas of doctrine and practice. Mormon fundamentalists are those parts of the LDS movement, or Mormonism, that have adhered to certain fundamental doctrines that were preached from the beginnings of Mormonism by Joseph Smith, Brigham Young, Wilford Woodruff, and others. Those churches within Mormonism usually believe in doctrines that have generally been either disavowed or changed by the other sects of Mormonism. Doctrines such as gathering in one place together, original temple or other ordinances, plural marriage, consecration and living in the united order, the Adam-God doctrine, and other unique doctrines of early Mormonism. Within Mormon fundamentalism, there's a smaller subset that is what's generally credited with being Mormon fundamentalism. The most famous or infamous group is what's called the FLDS. They live in an area that's usually called Colorado City, Arizona, and Hilldale, Utah. They followed a prophet named Warren Jeffs, and their lifestyle and their beliefs were quite extreme and separated a great deal from the other Mormon fundamentalist groups as well as from any of the other Mormon churches. And some of the worst abuses, unfortunately, that we've found in Mormon religion today have been perpetuated within that group. Now, that is only one small subset of Mormon fundamentalists. And to say that someone is FLDS is to say that they're part of that one unique group. Mormon fundamentalism consists of half a dozen or so other churches and groups, as well as a myriad of independents across the world. These are churches such as the Apostolic United Brethren, probably the largest Mormon fundamentalist group. You may have seen some of their members on the show Sister Wives and other shows about plural marriage in America today. There are other smaller groups such as Christ Church, which I'm a member of, Centennial Park, the Nielsen Naylor Gathering, and others, some in Utah, some in other western states, some in Missouri. Mormon fundamentalists are any Mormon group that holds to these fundamental and original principles of Mormonism. They don't necessarily do things like dress in prairie dresses. Most of them are just ordinary Americans. You may even know some and not even realize that they're Mormon fundamentalists. Their belief in the original doctrines of Mormonism leads them to read and study primarily from early leaders of Mormonism and believe and continue to practice doctrines and teachings of those early leaders of the church. So what's the difference between most Mormons and Mormon fundamentalists? Well, there's a few major differences, but we actually have more in common than makes us different. I suppose some of the differences are that Mormon fundamentalists believe in a principle called the gathering, as early Mormons did, which is to gather together in one place and live consecration in the united order. What is that? That's basically a community system whereby which we live for one another, we work for one another, we build up our own communities. This could include things like growing food, building each other's homes, things like that. Some of the other differences are temples. Now, most of the Mormons do have temples, but they have different ordinances in them. The mainstream LDS Church, or most Mormons, have pared down their ordinances until they're smaller and smaller and smaller. So the content of those ordinances has changed drastically from the times of the early church. Mormon fundamentalists, including the AUB and Christ Church, us, continue to perform more complete ordinances. Some Mormon fundamentalists, however, don't have that. Some of the other major differences are plural marriage, of course. Mormon fundamentalism has become just more or less just shorthand for saying that a Mormon church has polygamy. Some of the other differences might include certain doctrines, such as the Adam-God doctrine, and doctrines about building the New Jerusalem or the nature of God. So those things are some differences, but we actually have more in common than different. All Mormons believe in the Book of Mormon, look to Joseph Smith as a prophet, and follow many of his teachings. So we have a large body of things in common, and then a few small differences. So I've tried to give you a general overview of Mormon fundamentalism and what it is. And of course there are exceptions and examples that I haven't mentioned, but I hope that this video has been helpful for you in understanding what Mormon fundamentalism is. If you have any questions, leave us a comment. We'll be happy to answer them for you. We also have other videos on these topics about the history and doctrines of Mormon fundamentalism, and so we hope that you will subscribe and let us know if there's anything else you'd like to learn. Thank you for watching.